Well, shadow IT will always be around, right? I mean, I think the key is to offer shadow IT as a service, so at least you can bring them in, right? And that's kind of been our standard, right? Because I mean, sometimes they're doing some pretty interesting stuff, right, that we never thought about. And especially the marketing clouds, those kinds of things. And our friends at Salesforce are famous for that marketing cloud that everyone wants, right? But you know what, it works, right? So I think the shadow IT part is always going to be there in our lifetime and beyond, right? Because of how people work, especially with the millennials, especially with smartphones and localized apps.
Cloud is not so much become an issue when it comes to people taking it upon themselves, because we have some good control over that, and that control comes with a lot of service. So if this is what you're thinking, give us a call. Let's get on with it and help you get there, to try and avoid the fact of inheriting these contracts after they exist. So we have a close linkage to procurement. You can't procure anything without us anyway, but we don't use it as a stick. We kind of use it as an entry point. So I think the other part of shadow IT is all that stuff people build wherever they are with whatever tool they have, and I think the only way to fend that off, because people are just trying to run their business, is number one, to get a lot deeper into their business, to sort of as much as possible understand what they're trying to achieve, and second of all, make it real easy to say, sure, if you need that, we can enable that, but we're just enabling it within a governance structure that is what IT is becoming, as opposed to what IT was. Instead of control, it's just more about coaching, governing, sort of helping you get to where you want to be, to get to the solutions and the benefits realization. And I think a lot of the reasons why people would try to go around us in the past was because of that lack of flexibility.
One of the things that I personally see is we've got organizations that are now leveraging what we call the citizen developer. So because the model is different, they'll actually spin up a sandbox and say, what are you trying to prototype? And because the skill set on the SaaS side is different, you're not coding, you're basically just building a little database in the cloud, points and clicks, if you will. It enables them to build their prototype, say, this is what I want, iterate in a safe environment. And then what they're doing is they're leveraging IT to say, okay, let's make this real and roll this out in a more controlled fashion. And what they're finding is they're delivering a little bit closer to what the business is asking for. It's more buy-in because they've actually built it, and they're seeing, like I said, it's actually changing the way their IT is interacting with the business.
The whole shift right now that's happening is IT is not the driver in technologies right now and apps coming into the business. It's the business itself. And I love that, because people are coming to me being like, hey, this is what I want, and they're approaching the owners or the CEOs of the company, and I'm just coming in to facilitate and looking at the big picture, being like, okay, if you want to implement this, how is it going to affect this? Are we looking at security in that? And they're coming in pushing it, opposed to where I'm always the one pushing these new technologies, and right away, it's IT, they just want to spend money, and there's the value seen coming from the business opposed to IT is of greater use for me.